Superb stuff there. Brilliant to see Hakim on the number 13 now, splitting his...
Fernandez in number 7, he's up from 24th on the grid to 11th in basically going for it. Last time around he set a 146.8, but actually the fastest rider on track, Peter.
2 championship riders, that is the order they run in the championship. Uriarte.
1 lap, that is a heck of a great progression from the young Spaniard.
Yeah, he's of course...
It's Joel Pons back in 19th place at 145.9, so actually there's a...
Danish and Veda Pratama, 1, 2, 3.
If you've got David Gonzalez, who really...
He's already won 1 race and has got also a 3rd this year. The inside comes Christian.
A lot of pace in hand here for the riders, but do they want to burn up their tyres too quickly or not?
Well, Joel Pons
really lost out with that big mistake in towards 2A. He has now been pushed back to 8th position.
To take the lead.
That was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? So Veda goes from 1st to...
You know, he's had a lousy season and a half in Rookies Cup so far, but he was 6th in FP2, made a competition.
So it's actually 1, 2, 3 in the championship, and the 5th rider of the championship, Benyat Fernandez, into 3rd position as Daniel will come across the line leading this race. Veda looks just behind.
Late mess of qualifying, didn't get a toe, but certainly he has pace round here. If his
4th place in the race, just behind him, all the way from near enough the back row of the grid. Behind him, they do a bit of a twitch. You're allowed to do once, but you can't do it twice, 3 times, etc.
FP pace is anything to go by, so it would be great to see Pons way up in this group.
What a ride this is from Benyat.
Absolutely superb, and a great run from Hakim.
They come towards turn 1. It's going to be Uriarte leading the way. Veda up the Uriarte and Pratama, a bit like yesterday, just swapping places.
Danish as well. You know, Hakim, you know, he started the year with 5 second place.
Side of Christian Daniel once again, so his lead was rather short-lived.
Yeah, and they're broken away, the group is broken away. Yaroslav comes
around various parts of the track then. Morelli sitting tight in 3rd position.
Places and then a win. He can do it. It's just a mental thing that has messed up the race. Pushin is back there in 6th place, and that's the rest of the fish.
Daniel just behind him as well. Here is that fast and flood
races for the Malaysian. He's obviously expunged that from his brain now and healed. I wonder if these leading group of 5 are going to hang on to it.
Gonzalez had a big twitch to the front end then. Section of the track, that's not really an overtaking spot, Christian, but he didn't quite make it stick there.
He is battling for the lead.
It's such a different dynamic, Peter, from being the predator and the prey, you know.
He did, didn't he? He collected that up just in time to turn it right, but he lost a little bit of grip.
So we've got track limits warnings for Agostinelli, Brown, Monignane and Danish. They were chasing him all the time throughout the season, but now he's on the back foot.
But I think it could have been a lot worse.
Pushin's absolutely on it.
Danish, yeah, that is very much a warning. All 3 abreast again on the break.
Uriarte's the one with more things to lose per se, with a 4 points gap out the lead, isn't he? He got a podium last time out in Saxon. He's got Danish for company just behind him, and the chase begins.
Morelli! No plan B takes the lead.
Brilliant. No plan B up the lead. And it's amazing how that could just change a rider's mentality.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're 1 second off David Gonzalez at the line. We're going to compare once again. He's been a little bit quiet this year, hasn't he? Not what we expected from...
Uriarte is very strong mentally, and you see he actually had the better line.
Come across the intermediate, second intermediate now near enough, or on the exit of this. The Argentina kicked off the year with a 5th and a 4th place finish. He got his...
And Veda through there. He got the drive out of it. Veda caught him going into the corner.
We'll see whether that gap is coming down or not. But the leading quintet, if they want his first podium in Le Mans Race 2, he's not been on the podium since. This is what...
But Brian Uriarte flicked it right and then left. Better to get the drive.
They just have a race of their own. It's in their best interest just to absolutely pin it, because they've got car push. We want to see from Morelli.
Yeah, he had 2 wins last year, and we want to see him on the top 7 live out.
On that penalty as well for Mon and Yane due to exceeding track limits. And Danish hot on their tails.
And if you saw the orange tape come off someone that got pulled off the podium, and Brian desperately trying to keep his KTM off the green stuff there as he chases.
It's down in 20th at the moment, fighting with Plonk, who also had a long lap penalty. Agostinelli is just ahead of them.
One of the bikes there and another bit lying on the road. That is the tape that they have on the radiator at the start of the race as Morelli away from the first corner.
And of course him and Morelli came to blows back in Sachsenring, didn't they? And look, he's done his long lap penalty as well.
Oh, and Brian getting it a bit sideways. Temperature rises, the riders can pull the tape off and give them full cooling.
There is Benyat Fanak at the gap then with the chasers. They are on it. They are going to catch them, I think.
He's on the brakes going in there, but he managed to hang on to it.
Who's that? That's Agostinelli just gone down. Having then he was the fastest rider on track last time around, 0.2 of a second quicker. It was 0.6 of a second as they just completed his long lap penalty. That's a big shame for the Vietnamese rider.
Yeah.
Than your leader, Christian Daniels. So he could well be a threat later in the race. But what's across the first intermediate split there? So I think that's it. The leading pack have been caught.
Presumably ruined his concentration having to do the long lap penalty.
For certain is these front 5 riders are just absolutely drilling it. They're not interested officially. Fastest rider on track is that rider there, number 7 of Benyat Fernandez.
And caught himself out. Anyway, back with the leaders then. Brian Uriarte still with the advantage over Pratama.
And in a big pack race, they want to have one of their own.
Yeah, that's right. And Brian Uriarte, and of course, that group of 5 punches a big hole in the air, and that drags the other guys into the Hakim Danish. They've got a very, very slight advantage over the 17 of Yaroslav, and Veda Pratama are well able to drag this group away from the rest of the field, but that isn't slipstream very effectively. So it's Brian Uriarte who takes up the lead from Veda Pratama. Of Kapushin.
Kurdistani rider, just what a tick up in form he's had since that
happening at the moment. It's 3 abreast on the brakes.
Oh, and Christian Daniel, the last on the... So heavy on the brakes, and it's really steep downhill into turn 4 there. You can see the rear wheel of pole in that front row start and podium back in. Brakes there, just lets them off a little bit later than everybody else. He's going to go across track limits though on the... Uriarte's just popping off the ground momentarily. As they now come into the fastest slopes back in Germany. Really, really impressive. One of the youngest riders on the Rookies Cup. Exit of that, which is the risk you run as they come now down towards 2A and 2B. Veda. Sweeping section is Guillaume Plonk, first rider to have a long lap penalty for exceeding track. Isn't he? As Hakim Danish went very wide there. That could have been a long lap penalty for Danish. Wants to go up the inside there again, but Christian Daniel just so late on the brakes, isn't he? Goodness me, and that was a bit of